September 16th, 2025. It has been 5.5 days now since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I'm exhausted, for one. As Steven Crowder put it, I'm the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. I'm tired of it. I think a lot of people feel like I feel. I feel like a lot of people feel like the gentleman feels that I'm about to play. This person accepted an interview. This was the person that was debating / asking questions to / speaking with Charlie Kirk the instant he got shot in the neck. This was the last person to exchange words with Charlie Kirk in the interaction that's all on camera. This person was thinking out loud about what can we as a society and a culture do? Like what action steps can we actually take to solve some of the problems that we have? And he was just speaking out loud and kind of arrived at a point of like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what we can do.
How do we prepare? I don't know if the answer is we should just be okay with knowing that there are completely antisocial people who walk amongst us and might lash out at any moment. But I don't know what we should be doing about that, and I haven't seen a compelling answer.
See, I recognize that because I felt like that before. I felt like that just a few days ago before I had some real time to think about, man, what would I do? Let's say I was just tasked with, hey, Ryan, you're in charge now. Okay, what would I actually do? What would I do to try and fix this? The title of this video is Bring Back Banishment. That's what I would do. That's my idea, guys. Let me explain. See, back in the day, people would get banished. They would get exiled from their societies. They would be told, you cannot be here anymore. You're not allowed to be a part of our group anymore. Period. And that was that. In some scenarios, in some cultures, and sometimes hundreds and even thousands of years ago, that was effectively a death sentence. What I'm suggesting to do the same thing today is much more humane. It's not a death sentence. Let's say I were the one to be expelled from our society permanently. Listen, I'm confident you could put me in any of the other primary livable continents. I would make something of the situation. I would last. I would be able to survive the circumstance. I've come up with other scenarios. I've had much more dark thoughts enter my mind. But, as I try to approach this thing logically and fairly, the solution that I think is most appropriate in 2025 is a modern day banishment where people still have the opportunity to turn their lives around just somewhere else. That's effectively the idea, but it's important, before I go into specifics of my concept, it's important to know what I'm talking about. You might say, well, Ryan, why do you think there would be a widespread need for people to be removed from our society permanently? Please, watch a few clips. These aren't the people that have committed acts of violence. That person has been apprehended and is currently awaiting his trial in Utah. These are just all ancillary people that have technically not done anything illegal. Some of them, actually, some of them may have done something illegal and they might be caught. Some of these people, though, are just saying very vile things that are so it's so beyond it's just so beyond human that I just don't think they should be here. There was the guy in the crowd in Utah that, before even questioning his own safety, in case this might have been an active shooter situation, celebrated Charlie Kirk's death. You can go. We don't need you here, bud. There's the person that under Erica Kirk's Instagram comment section, the wife of Charlie Kirk, said, now your children have no father, with a bunch of laugh emojis. You can go. We don't need you.
Here we go. We got a guy by the name of Jacob Nestegard. Listen what this fuck said.
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death. Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
You would have killed him yourself. Okay.
We got another guy cheering with a microphone like he's a damn demon.
We got Charlie in the neck. Who's up next? We got Charlie in the neck.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow, that's good.
Charlie Kirk gets shot and killed today. We're just getting people's opinions. How do you feel about that?
Girl, someone had to do it.
I'm surprised that y'all didn't get rid of him sooner. And I'm surprised that you guys aren't getting rid of more people. Like, don't stop with him. Don't let him be the end dog. Get rid of them all.
Like, if you don't want to see our nation prosper here, if the things that we stand for are a problem for you, if the flag itself is a problem for you.
I see an American flag, I immediately look at that I'm like, that person's probably a bigot.
I really don't think these people need to be here. I think it can be negotiated with other nations around the world that they accept some people. Let's say that's even off the table. Let's say we can't send anybody anywhere. We have quite a bit of space. We have quite a bit of resources that are still the United States. I'm serious about the idea of fractioning off an undesirable portion of Alaska and sending our people there that cannot be and don't want to be a part of our culture. I mean, I remember a time not that long ago, a matter of just a few years ago, where you had leftists saying, if we elect Trump, or if we elect Trump again, I'm leaving the country. I won't be able to do it. It's not worth it. I'm going. None of them, or like an extremely small portion of the people that said that actually did. Once again, imagine that a leftist lied, didn't do something that they said they were going to do. I just don't think it should be considered an extreme concept anymore to at least consider. Should we assist that process for them? Should we force that to be the result? Because we just can't have internal terrorists here. I mean, it's just unacceptable. I told you some of the people that I was gonna use as examples might have actually done things that were illegal and will be caught for it. Listen to this report from Megyn Kelly.
Reporting that the Bureau is looking into posts by at least 7 different accounts. Several of the accounts appear to belong to transgender individuals, and at least one of them followed the suspect in this case, Tyler Robinson's roommate. Okay, so followed the roommate, the boyfriend, with whom Robinson was reportedly in a romantic relationship. Minutes after Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead, the user posted on X, "We fucking did it." Another user, 5 days before the shooting, wrote, quote, "You guys, I have something big coming soon. Just be sure to check the news. You'll know it when you see it." Then on Wednesday after the shooting, the same account writes, quote, "Well, that's that." And another chud bites the dust. Chud, apparently a slang derogatory term for right-wingers. The Free Beacon also reporting a TikTok account by an individual who appears to be transgender, writing, quote, "Charles James Kirk does not know what's coming tomorrow. This isn't a threat. It's a promise." And there's new information regarding Tyler Robinson, the suspect, as well. As I mentioned above, he was in a romantic relationship with his roommate, who's a biological man pretending that he can become a female and in the process of that, quote, transition. Tyler Robinson himself appears to have a link to so-called furry culture, which is linked to the trans community and which involves people dressing up like animals and getting some sort of sexual fetish out of it. That same so-called boyfriend who was trying to trans himself into female was constantly all over the internet in furry costumes.
Brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. And I've been labeled radical before. I'm becoming way radical. There's no way that I'm going to accept that my radicalization is something that should be frowned upon at this stage, given I know that it comes from a well-intentioned place. I know my heart. We should banish people for threats on the internet, expressing glee over assassinations, public executions like we saw in the case of Charlie Kirk. They don't need to be here. More people that don't need to be here. Megyn Kelly just explained the relationship of the shooter and his boyfriend that was his roommate. These are what I would call Finocchios. They're Finocchios. You cannot trust a Finocchio. You cannot trust a trans person. You just can't. The problem with trusting a trans person is that they've already violated my trust. I don't trust people that have previously violated my trust. Most people don't. You have to understand that if you have looked down upon yourself and you are reporting a different genitalia than everyone knows that you have, I have to consider that to be a lie, and you're no longer someone who's trustworthy. Like if you can't handle your own freaking being, you definitely shouldn't be handling anything beyond your own scope, like government, education, public policy, like anything. I wouldn't employ a trans person. I'm just putting it out there. I know that that's a extremely controversial thing to say right now. I think it's becoming much less controversial by the hour. These people are outing themselves as a big problem. And I've said it before, and now I'm just going to say it with even more clarity, because now there's just absolutely no confusion on my end about what's going on. I would literally banish all trans people, and I don't think we'd miss anything. I don't think the people that you saw in the clips that I played earlier that were celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments, what if we do banish all these people, what are we missing? What would we miss about that? I don't think these people, and I don't know all these people, but you cannot convince me that these people are being productive enough in the public marketplace that it would make any difference. I don't think that the tax dollars that they're generating are worth their own stated threat level. They are telling us unprovoked that they are threats to us. They're not worth having around, man. That's where I'm at today, because I'm tired of being like the guy that was speaking to Charlie Kirk very last. I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and says I don't have the answers and I don't know. The only amount of time that should be appropriate is during the grieving process. It shouldn't take much longer than that. Once we get through that, we got to start coming up with ideas. And I'm sure there's better ideas. There's probably better ideas than the ones I've just laid out. This is just my idea because it's an idea. Because I'm not seeing any ideas from anyone else. So screw it. We'll start right here on my YouTube channel. I don't care. A note about the YouTube channel before I move on from this video. I have a song coming out on Friday that I wrote weeks ago. Recorded it weeks ago. Prepared it weeks ago, sent it off to the distributor that helps make my mixtape CDs. So they've had the audio file in case someone doesn't believe that I didn't write this beforehand. The receipts, I have the receipts. I wrote the lyrics. Part of the song goes, I don't hate gays. I listen to Tim Dillon's podcast every week. I laughed during every scene Dan Levy on Schitt's Creek. It's not hateful just to make a critique. I'm against agendas, not individuals. If the left would just fucking let me speak. I had forgotten that I wrote that. until I listened to Tim Dillon's podcast this week, the one following the news of Charlie Kirk dying. Yeah, I listened to his podcast like I do every week, as I state in the lyrics. And then I remembered that I wrote that lyric, and I was like, oh my God, I have a song coming out. I already delayed the release of this song a week already. I'm not going to delay the release again. But I was like, oh my goodness, I have this song coming out where I say that. Then an event like this happens where the left that's what they did. They literally just didn't let Charlie Kirk speak anymore. If the left would just fucking let us speak, man. That should be an absolute, like we shouldn't have to ask for that in this country. That's what this country's about. I shouldn't have to request the opportunity to speak. They want to cancel us. They can't do that. They'll kill us. They have gotten so low that they shouldn't be tolerated around here anymore, man. It's a weird feeling writing lyrics that don't come out for a while, and then something in the world happens that makes the lyrics almost seem like they're about something that they're not even about. You know, the people apply the lyrics to modern stuff. You know, it's not the first time in my mixtape that this happened. I wrote the song "Dead Presidents" before the second time they tried to assassinate Donald Trump. It's just wild because the way that I write music, usually what I do is I come up with a concept for a song where I'm like, okay, I want to make a song. I want to call it Dead Presidents. I want it to be about the Trump assassination. I want it to be an analogy to how a lot of people want money. And another term for money is dead presidents. And so I wrote then I find a beat, and then I write lyrics to match the pace of the beat and, make the lyrics fit in the music. So the lyrics don't come first, they come last. Same with Deal With It. I was like, I deal in a casino for a living. I want to write a song called Deal With It. That's a pun that has a lot of dealer casino table games terms and phrases in it. That's also about liberals having to deal with the fact that they lost the election. Then what I would normally do is I would go out and I'd find several instrumentals at once. I'd find 5 or 6 at one time. And then I would say, this song sounds a little bit like this concept. And then I write the lyrics last. And what that allows for as an artist, sorry, this is a whole different topic of conversation than the original video, but I hope you're interested in what I have to say. What it allows for in the lyric generation process is for, it sounds goofy to call it this, but divine intervention at play. Because sometimes I write lyrics and I'm like, did I just come up with that? Or was there an influence, a higher power influence that wanted that to be what I thought? You understand what I'm saying? Is that my idea, or were the lyrics of this song supposed to be what they were? And they're not even really mine. I don't know. When a circumstance like this comes up, it really makes me feel that way, where it's like, wow, I wrote some lyrics that really make sense today after a certain event, and I wrote them before the event happened. Anyway, just sort of my thoughts. As my channel gets back to what I want it to be, we're gonna still post the music that I wrote earlier this year throughout the rest of the year. There's 4 songs coming out in the next several weeks. I'm gonna try to get kind of back to what I do best and having a little bit of fun. I want to fix the world through having some fun. I don't want to keep having to address the world so seriously and with freaking policy and crap that a lot of people don't even care about. I want to impact and bless and repair this culture and this world through fun art and having a good time together. That's what we're going to get back to on the channel. I hope to see you then on Welty.